Well, Daniel, new team, new year, new gear. How does it feel to officially be a McLaren driver?
It was great. I think my introduction into the team has been solid. I feel comfortable, and I feel like I've done, or I guess we as a collective have done everything we can up until this point. I'm actually very happy to be here and quite calm and relaxed at the moment.
It looks like testing went really well. I think even Lewis commented about how well you guys are looking. Are you happy with how the car feels, ahead of the new season?
It was a good test. We did get pretty much all the mileage we needed, and it was important for me to get the laps in. Even though I'm experienced in Formula One now, a new car and a new team is always going to come with its challenges, and you need time to basically, I think, execute everything correctly with what you have. And time we didn't have much of, three half days that I was able to put in the laps and get comfortable. So it was pretty solid. I think we're looking all right. I think the Mercedes and Red Bull will still have the targets on them, and we'll be trying to still hunt them down. But I think we can be looking pretty decent shape, I think.
It's been a decade. You've had a decade in Formula One, right? How much about you's changed, or what about you's changed in that time?
I mean, a lot. It's hard to quantify how much has changed because of life. I think everyone's going to change over a decade, no matter what they're doing. But yeah, I certainly, within this environment, I certainly feel a lot more comfortable, I guess, than I did, 10 years ago. I was certainly a bit overwhelmed when I got here, and it was a dream. So when I finally got here, I was like, oh wow, like this is really happening. Obviously now I've done it long enough, and I obviously got that confidence and belief that I belong here, and I'm not just a kid who's still dreaming. But yeah, I've obviously made a lot of good friends and relationships along the way, and one thing I'll say is the desire to compete has probably only got stronger. Maybe that's still because I haven't achieved what I'm after, but I have to control my emotions still, because I just want to get Sunday done and get out there. But that desire, if anything, has increased and intensified.
Absolutely. What about stuff outside of racing, like your musical taste, your haircuts, obviously from the early days of the pros? How's those things changed?
They've changed a lot. So I feel like you've been tracking me pretty well over the last 10 years. So I definitely got rid of the afro. Thankfully, I look back at photos. I'm not sure anyone looks back at photos and was like, yeah, I looked cool back then. You never tend to look cool 10 years ago. So yeah, the hair's changed a little bit. And music, I would just say my taste has broadened. I've always loved music, but say 10 years ago, it was particularly very heavily biased towards like punk rock, which I still enjoy a lot, but now I'm much more open-minded to pretty much every other genre. And it's not only punk rock that'll get me fired up on the grid on Sunday. I think I'm able to be a bit more flexible with that, which, if anything, works to my advantage.
So what do you do to unwind on weeks off or on time off?
It can be let's say in normal times, I love going to see some music, so to go see like a live concert, that's a nice way just to, I think, enjoy seeing someone else in their element, and a way to really switch off. Otherwise, I love being outdoors, so mountain biking or anything with bikes I enjoy, but even hiking and just getting into a bit of nature. I think the chaos of Formula One, I love the pace, but then it is really nice to go somewhere quiet and switch off.
You were back on the podium again last season. Do you feel like you have a strong team around you to get back onto that top step?
I do. So far what I've seen, we have to wait till we obviously let's go racing and under full competition, but what I've really liked is kind of the mindset of the team and the way McLaren has, let's say, grown and shown their, I think, presence on the grid, particularly the last few years, has been really impressive. Looking from the outside and now being on the inside, I can kind of see how it all adds up. So I definitely feel like, once we get a sniff, I've got the right group around me to take advantage of it. And then obviously we'll make the most of every opportunity.
I love it. Long term, do you hope this is the team where you can finally achieve your dream result, being a F1 world champion?
Yeah, this is, I've obviously done a bit of moving around the last few years, and it's not something I want to continue to do or plan on doing. It's stressful and it's actually hard work. So I do really feel like the team's already laid out a very nice foundation, and if I can, let's say, build on what I already see that they've got and kind of personally achieve my goals here, then I think we can fight for a world title. Hopefully already as soon as next year.
Now I know that fans are super excited about you and Lando in the team together, and you know the reason why. They're expecting loads of banter. Is it going to be a lot of fun between you two, or is it going to be a competitive kind of partnership?
I think time will tell. I mean, there's certainly going to be competition. I think there's no sugarcoating at this level. I think there's certainly a respect amongst all drivers, and especially teammates, because a lot of the time you can be like first rivals, so to speak. But yeah, I think we actually executed a really good test together. I think the way we worked together in the meetings, the debriefs, tried to, let's say, assist the team to get better. I think that there was a really good, let's say, relationship and camaraderie. So I expect that to continue. And then, on track, I'm sure we'll have some battles. But I'll put the competition first and then the banter second. But I think if we can get the team to where we want it to be, then we should have some fun along the way.
Yeah, we look forward to that. How do you kind of keep the big kid of you alive in such an ultra competitive environment? That's what I've always wondered.
I mean, it's really the basics of making sure I'm still having fun with it. And I think if I'm having fun, I'll find a way to still be like jovial and just mess around. And I think you get to a point where, yes, this is a business and it's my job, but I've definitely gone through a period where I did take it super seriously, and I kind of just burnt myself out from just being too hard on myself in a way. So finding that balance of enjoying it, I think that would give me longevity in the sport as well. And find those moments when I need to switch on, and then when I'm allowed to switch off and just take it as it comes.
What did McLaren have that Renault kind of didn't, that made you think you wanted to make a move?
I think when I signed the contract, it was really just the step they made in 2019. It was, I think they kind of turned heads in the whole paddock, and it felt like they'd gone through those few, let's say, darker years of trying to sort themselves out, to rebuild the team, and it felt like 19 they'd really put everything together, and it was like, okay, they've laid everything out, all the pieces are together. It's now just building and executing for the next few years. And 19 they made a big step. Obviously I signed to the beginning of 20, but during 20 they showed a further step. So I just think they had the most promise out of the rest around. And you never know at the end of the day. Like, we don't know what's going to happen come Sunday or the rest of the year here. But I like what I saw, and the personnel felt like, everyone feels pretty comfortable at McLaren. So, and when I say comfortable, don't mistake that for complacent, but ready to get on with it.
As you know, like, McLaren's got great history in the sport. Does it excite you to be a part of that, and obviously, hopefully, being a part of creating some more history?
Yeah, the MTC, where McLaren are based in Woking, McLaren Technology Centre, I think I've got it right. It's pretty phenomenal to walk in there and just see the place, and it is pretty mind-blowing. It's very F1, like, if you tell someone what does F1 look like, you walk into McLaren and that's your description. It is impressive, and to see all the cars there, the history and the trophy cabinets as well. There's a lot. Obviously none yet with my name on it, so that's the plan. But yeah, it's pretty surreal, I would say, to walk into an environment like McLaren. And as a kid, I watched it on TV. I'm very familiar with the McLaren colours, and to now be part of that, it is a little pinch yourself moment. But you kind of quickly block that out and just focus on getting the job done.
Lastly, what's your goals for this next season?
Definitely to get my own name on some of the trophies in the MTC. That's one, and I think really just look back on the year and know that I've made a difference, you know, within this team. I think the team has created something pretty awesome, particularly the last 24 months, and I want to feel like I've really contributed to that. I want to ride the wave they're on, but I also want to, you know, let's say do some of the weightlifting and look back and say, all right, this team has made maybe that extra little step because of my input and my drive and determination and all the rest of it.
Absolutely love it. Well, Daniel, thank you so much, and good luck on this new season.
Thank you. Cheers.